You know those moments when someone speaks
I don't want it, but I have to. I thought for a solo artist, I thought bloody day.
and everyone just blinks. No one gets them, not because they are wrong, but because something about how they are speaking throws everyone off. Or let's not even go far. You started speaking in class or at the office or at a conference and you see people looking at you with weird faces. Well, recently I came across a podcast episode between Bartlett and Vinh Giang, and let me tell you, I watched it twice. From that episode, I learned how communication is not just what you are saying, but how you say it.
The people that I've been able to help the most in my career so far are the people who are technically so amazing at what they do. And they've been hidden away in the back office as a technician. And then bloody Brad always gets the promotion, right? Brad always gets it. Damn it, Brad got it again. Brad's not smart as me. Brad is not as good as me, right? And it's because Brad talks better. He's more visible in the work environment.
You really think it often comes down to just how we speak and communicate?
Our value, yes. Because if you can't communicate your value in a way that is clear and concise, people, it's not their responsibility to see the brilliance that exists within you.
Hi friends, you are welcome to the channel. In fact, we are all welcome to this channel because we have been strangers. Did you miss me? If you are new here, my name is Truth. I love to read and I make videos about how we can improve ourselves, whether I'm drawing lessons from books, from podcasts, from documentaries, from live, and a few times I make a few vlogs about myself. So if that is your vibe, you are at the right place. Please subscribe, please like the video, and let's get into today's video. Vinh Giang is a communication coach, and he said that the way you speak is the way people see you. He talked about how your voice, your pace, your clarity plays a huge role in how you are perceived. And I think it should, because I have sat in places where I could see someone had something to say, but based on accent or how they will be perceived, because they sound different from everyone else, they decide to keep their ideas to themselves. And one of the most important things he spoke about is filler words, right? So we are now in a generation where these days you hear someone say literally or basically in a sentence for 10 times in one sentence. Basically, if you said this, literally, if you said this, okay, so, and it makes your communication people are not able to follow because you put too much filler words. Let me give you an example. So if I came to record this video and I would be like, hi, my name is Truth, and I like to make videos, and literally, I like books so much, and I like food too, and you see how boring that sounds? Yes, but most of us, or at least we speak with these filler words because sometimes we don't know what to say next, and you just don't know what to say next, and these filler words come automatically so that you don't feel weird or become anxious whilst you are speaking, and you want to continue to speak like fluently. You see, I just said like, so I said so again. Those are my filler words. So, like, literally, I use them so much, and it disrupts your clarity and how you speak. Another thing that has become a problem for communication is accents. I didn't even know this was a problem until I moved to a space where I had people from different places of the world speak, and we are all speaking English, and someone is speaking and you can't understand, or you are speaking and someone can't understand, and they're like, your accent is so thick. I'm like, I don't have an accent. I don't have an accent. They say your accent is so thick. Can you repeat again? I'm like, what? Okay, so accents is a problem, and from what Vin said in the video, it made me think so much. He said most of us grew up speaking different dialects. So if I'm from Ghana, maybe I grew up speaking Chi or Kusa or Fanti or Ga, and when we started to learn English, we use the same mouth movement to speak English. And that is why when someone from Ghana speaks English, you are able to identify they are from Ghana, or they are from Nigeria, they are from India, they are from the United States, they are British. And a few times we have made fun about these things online. For example, if I say pasta, what comes to your mind? Food, which is noodles, or a preacher? As a Ghanaian, if I say pastor, I mean a preacher and not the food. If a Nigerian say walk, does it mean taking a stroll around your neighborhood or going to a place where you are supposed to get things done, like an office? Or people with an H problem, they will say eat, and you are wondering, is it consuming food or do you mean to warm the food? Right? Because of how our local dialects sound, we bring it into the English language and we begin to be different. And based on the video, he wasn't saying everyone should copy British accent. He's just saying that sometimes the bias is not really the accent, but how you are able to articulate it. And from the video, some research came out and I was very surprised. I think Steve Bartlett, the host of the podcast, said from research, about 78% of employers say they deny people access to jobs just because of how they sound. This is so serious. Just because of how someone sounds based on their accent alone, they don't even check how intelligent you are, your qualifications and all of that. Just based on your accent, people begin to discriminate against you. What kind of world have we reached? Do you get? And it can be frustrating. I'm telling you, I've seen people in a meeting, you know this person has something to say, but just based on the different people around the room, they keep quiet. Or even I sometimes have kept quiet in conversations where I feel like I had something to say, but people would turn and be like, what is that accent? And I would just keep quiet about it. And as much as accent helps us to be unique, sometimes it's funny. There's this story in the Bible, anytime I read it, I laugh so much. It's not a funny story, but when I read it, it's funny because in the book of Judges, there was a fight between the Gileadites and the Ephraimites, and I think the Gileadites conquered the Ephraimite. But people would pretend that they are part of this party because they don't want to be killed, and so they would come and say, pronounce this word, and the word is pronounced Shibboleth, and the other people had a she kind of problem. So instead of saying shibboleth, they'll say sibboleth, and they'll catch them and kill them. And it's funny because the part of Ghana where I come from, most of us also have that problem. So general science, someone will say general science, or like sugar, someone will say sugar, and all of that. And it's funny. And it's not just where I come from alone. I know Twi speakers have an R and an L problem where they will say parallelogram or something like that. Parallelogram will say parallelogram. Or I think Fantis have an H problem where heat and eat is almost the same, and we see that in different parts of the world based on where you come from. And a few times we have made fun of these things. I remember when I was in school, I'm not going to mention which level of school I was in, but one of the teachers said, some of you have tonation problem. And I laughed so much because sometimes you don't even know you have the problem. He wanted to say you have tonation problem. No, he had it himself and said you have tonation problem. And I remember when I was in high school, I shouldn't say this story. When I was in high school, we came from prep one evening, and was it prep? I don't remember, but there was a meeting where someone came and said they stole her things, and we had like a house meeting, and the person was asked to narrate their story and what happened, and the person said, Master, when I came, they stole my bag, they stole my bucket, they stole my things, they stole my everything. And everyone started laughing. And this was a serious matter. They stole the person's stuff, but the way they said it was so funny. They stole my bag, my book, my bucket, my everything. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. But based on where we come from, we speak English with that. We speak English as close to the dialect or the language we were brought up with. And there's this meme that makes me laugh so much on the internet when I come across it. There's this guy who'll be like, Sadio Mane, he's the best football player in the world. Chris, why are you laughing? I'm serious, Chris, why are you laughing?
The one that I'm mentioning now, Sadio Mane. I said it last time I was on it, he's the best football player in the world. I don't know why he's laughing for. Chris, why are you laughing for? Why are you laughing for? I'm being serious. I'm being serious. No, you see, I'm talking facts here. I don't do if, buts and maybes. I do absolute.
And when we see it, we laugh, but that's the person's somehow reality, right? But we are not saying everyone should begin to speak and sound the same. Based on the video, there are ways we can improve, and as we get to the end of this video, I'm going to talk about it. More serious notes, even though I was laughing, people actually judge your intelligence based on how you sound and your accent, and we see certain accents as educated and refined. Like when someone speaks British accent, somehow our head almost thinks they are very smart, and then someone speaks a random accent and they seem unrefined and uneducated. And there are so many stereotypes against these things. Like I said, that employers 78% of the time you can get denied of a job opportunity just because of how you sound and the accent how you sound based on your accent, and it shouldn't be so. Moving beyond accents, one of the important things he actually spoke about is articulation. How you articulate, clarity, pronunciation actually helps you to be understood, because we have also seen people who are very popular who never had to change their accent. So you don't necessarily have to sound British or American for people to understand what you are saying. Clarity. I know Kofi Annan was the UN secretary for so many years. He never changed his accent, but people listen to him. The World Trade Woman, I've forgotten her name, the Nigerian woman, she still speaks with her Nigerian accent, but people are able to hear. However, the problem is articulation, so we don't have to imitate to speak like Americans or the British. Now, I'm going to share a few things I learned from the podcast episode that I want to put into my life to become a better communicator. And you see, too many filler words. I need to work on that. But he said that your voice is an instrument. Like the way we can listen to musical instruments and enjoy, you can also train your voice to be very playful and nice, where you speak and people actually want to listen to what you are saying. One of my favorite people is Morgan Freeman. And I'm telling you, if Morgan Freeman reads a grocery list to me, I will still be impressed. Recently, I was watching his documentary on YouTube about the God with us, something like that, the story of God actually, and so many episodes, and he went around the whole world asking people about the God they believe in, why they believe in it, the story about evil, life after death, miracles, love, all of those different things. And as much as I enjoyed the documentary itself and what different people believe in, like the surprises I got, most of the reason why I kept watching was actually because of Morgan Freeman. His voice is so soothing, his articulation, his pronunciation is just beautiful. So Vin gave a few tips that I actually have a surprise for you at the end. I'm going to make a trial and error for you to see, okay? So you want to watch this video to the end, and so far, please like, okay? Come back, like the video and subscribe. So the first thing that I took note of was he saying time to change your vocal image. Most of us have labeled ourselves. I am introverted, I am shy, I don't like small talk, and I've labeled myself with most of these things, that I'm introverted and I'm shy. I don't think you watching the video will believe it, but yeah, so he says to change your vocal image by learning how to speak lowly and speak highly, and not just speak on the same tone. Hi, my name is Truth, came to the video. No, learn how to speak high and low based on what you need. Another thing is to add emotion to your voice and even to your face and your body language, right? If I came and I said, oh my God, I passed my exams, you can see it on my face with the way I'm communicating. But if I came and said, oh, I passed my exams, you'll be wondering, what's going on? If you pass your exams, let's see it on your face based on how you are communicating. So the ability to add emotions to your voice and to your face. And another thing he spoke about was hand gestures. If I came to the video and I was like, hello, you are welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about communication, I'm sure you will probably leave because it sounds robotic. But if I speak with my hands and I do this and I do that, even though I feel like I do it so many times. I am engaging you. Say more, say less. I'm entertaining you. Okay. And he gave a practical lesson that I would want everyone who is watching this video to learn, because I have seen it. I have seen an improvement in my life even before I watched this episode. So the first time, okay, before I give that story, he said that one of the ways to learn and improve your communication is to record and review. Exactly what I'm doing at the moment. All of us have smartphones, or if you don't have smartphones, you have someone who have a phone or a camera where you can use. Record yourself like I'm doing and just speak about a random stuff. Maybe pretend you are sitting in front of an interviewer asking you, tell us about yourself, and you speak about it for 5 minutes. And what he's saying is, after you record it, keep the video down, don't look at it again for the next day, because most of us don't even like the way we sound. And the next day he says to put the volume up a little and listen to what you said. So listen to what you said in that video. How did you sound? Were you just flat all around? Did you go high and low? And take notes. Now the second thing is to put the video on mute and watch your body language. Were you touching your face too much when you were talking? Were you like this when you were talking? Were you over like this fighting us when you were talking? And see your body language, because when we look at these TED Talks and see people speak and how they command the stage and everyone is apt and listening to them, there's a stage presence based on how they are communicating and their hand gestures and all of that. And the third thing he said is to transcribe what you have recorded. So transcribe it in paper and you'll begin to see the kind of things you are saying. So I just said so, filler words. You will see that in a sentence you've said so 50 times. You've said literally 10 times. You've said basically filler words. Now when you have seen that, you take the video down and intentionally, maybe for the next 12 weeks, the next 6 months, pick one area of your communication you want to improve. Articulation, voice. So whether you want to go high or low, or whether you want to intentionally remove filler words. And he gave a way to remove filler words. He says you can pause. If I want to speak something and I'm thinking about the word to say and I don't know it, usually I would say so, or literally, or instead of saying or literally, you could pause. Let's see, let me give you an example. When I started to make YouTube videos, the first time I put the camera on my face, I didn't know what to say. I forgot everything I had to say. And I wondered how people were able to make videos for an hour or 2 hours just speaking. After I recorded it and I looked at my face, I didn't like my face. And then I didn't even like how I sounded. Okay, so you can see that I paused a little. I was a bit slower when I was speaking because I didn't want to use filler words. And the next thing he says is to show the video or your improvement to someone else and get feedback. And when I started making YouTube videos, a lot of people used to tell me I speak so fast, which is true. Naturally, I speak so fast. So I started speaking slowly. And then one day someone gave me a comment, "Why do you speak so slow?" in my DM. And I laughed, but it hurt me so bad. I was like, what do people want from me? I speak fast, you say I speak fast. I speak slow and you say I speak slow. So what do you want from me? Okay, but based on this, that feedback now makes me a bit conscious when I'm speaking, not to be too fast and not to be too slow. I'm going to read something to you, how I would have read it in my normal voice and how I would read it by applying his tips of going high and low, pausing and showing like excitement on your face, let the words show on your face and all of that. Let's see how I do and see if you can see the difference in the video, in the sound of my voice based on how I read or not. Okay, before I do that, this video was very unorganized, so please be be patient with me. One thing he said is that when you begin to change, you would sound weird. You would feel weird. Even people around you would think you sound weird, which is okay. And most of us do not want to be uncomfortable, so we would rather remain where we are when speaking. If I decide to change my voice today in a way, you'll be like, what is wrong with you? Why are you faking it? But I'm getting somewhere. For example, when I try to speak with an American accent, I feel fake in my head. It's like, and it feels tiring. My tongue feels heavy. And I go back to default in speaking a Ghanaian accent that I'm very used to. It doesn't mean I have to copy and learn an American accent. It's just that I have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable if I want to improve my communication skills. And it's the same for you. So let's read the thing I want to read with you. It's behind me, okay? I'm going to read this twice. The first one is how I would read a normal thing if you had passed a piece of paper to me to read to you, and read it based on Vin's recommendations on how to make your voice sound like an instrument, playful. So this is my first one. I don't know if you can see what I'm reading. Ooh. Today is the day. Live your life with abandon. Be courageous and wild at heart. Be your own hero. Follow your dreams no matter how big they are. Fall in love. Take time to appreciate the moments, for they will soon be memories. Be good to yourself. Be generous and truthful. Dance, sing and play no matter your age. Believe in your own power, strength and fortitude. Seek peace and calm. Learn something new every day. Create happiness. Laugh often. Enjoy the little things. Be gracious and kind. Smile at strangers. We are on this journey together. This is your life. Make it beautiful. This is how I would read like a normal thing if you give it back to me. So now I'm going to read based on what Vin was saying. Don't laugh, okay? We are serious here. I might have to turn my back on you because I'm going to read it. I don't know how to. If I hold it this way, I won't be able to show my hand gestures. Well, maybe I will read it this way without showing my hand gestures. Hopefully, just the way my voice goes high and low would work in this, because I wouldn't really want to turn my back on you. Okay, I'm speaking too much. Let's get there. Today is the day. Live your life with abandon. Be courageous and wild at heart. Be your own hero. Follow your dreams no matter how big they are. Fall in love. Take time to appreciate the moments, for they will soon be memories. Be good to yourself. Be generous and truthful. Dance, sing and play no matter your age. Believe in your power, strength and fortitude. Embrace new possibilities. Make friends everywhere you go. Inspire someone. Be brave. Take chances and be spontaneous. Discover your gifts and use them wisely. Surround yourself with love, laughter and truth. Seek peace and calm. Learn something new every day. Create happiness. Laugh often. Enjoy the little things. Be gracious and kind. Smile at strangers. We are on this journey together. This is your life. Make it beautiful. Okay, I sound weird. I sound so weird, but do you see the energy that comes along with how I read this verse the first time I read it? And if I continue this way and practice more, going high, going low, based on what I want the reader to ponder on, when you go low, you are giving them an opportunity, and a bit slowly, you are giving them an opportunity to think about what you are saying. This is important. When you are going high, you are going high with them. So if I'm laughing, you are laughing. If I'm sad, you are sad. So I'm communicating. That's how, when people sing songs, based on their facial expression, it carries you along, and then you become emotional. It's how you communicate. And just before I end this video, he said that some people be like, yeah, my work can speak for itself. So you're very good. You take years and years of doing research or writing a book, and they give you 5 minutes or 10 minutes, an elevator speech, and because you are not a good communicator, you actually lose out on that opportunity. So why don't you learn to speak for your work as well? Okay, I'll see you in my next video. Please like and subscribe and share. I have so much that is in store for you guys. I'm actually back for good. Bye.